Hello everyone. I'm Dr. Meena from Department of Mathematics at KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology. So today we are going to see about how mathematics are applied in machine learning. Many of them doesn't know what is the role of mathematics in machine learning. But one can say that is mathematics are applied in every field of engineering, especially in machine learning as well as in deep learning. In this video, I am going to explain what are the basic concepts of mathematics that are used in machine learning. Actually, in analytics, there are four major concepts in mathematics. One is linear algebra, another one is probability, statistics, and calculus. These four concepts are it's a basic backbone of mathematics. Each and every students, either in the schools as well as in colleges, they will come across all these concepts. But most of them doesn't know what is the purpose of studying all these topics. So in this video, I can give some outlines how all these concepts are applied in machine learning. So the first topic we can see about linear algebra. The linear algebra are always based upon the vectors and the vectors are converted in the form of matrices. So the machine learning models normally it cannot understand the text, images or sound anything directly. So we have to convert the data in the form of vectors and all these vectors are converted in the form of the matrix. So for all these conversion, we need the concept of linear algebra. So the linear algebra techniques are mainly used for data representation in machine learning. So here a single data point, it is converted in the form of a vector and the set of data set are converted in the form of a matrix. So most of the model parameters are in the form of vectors as well as the matrices. So for example, this linear algebra in machine learning are applied mainly in the house price prediction. So each house it is represented as a vector and multiple houses can be represented as in the form of a matrix. So by this linear algebra calculation, one can find how the house rate, whether it is high or low. In the similar way, the same concepts can be applied for neural networks also. So here also it will executes the parallel computations, fast execution as well as the large scale training. So in all these cases, the data are converted in the form of a matrix. So the linear algebra concept are used for making predictions also. And especially we can see in principal component analysis, one can say it as PCA. So here they can use the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So these eigenvalues or eigenvectors are studied by the engineering students as well as the school students. And here they can apply all these concepts especially for the face recognition, text embeddings as well as in image compression. So one can say without the linear algebra concept, the large scale machine learning is impossible. Now we can see how the probability concept are applied in this machine learning. Normally, probability means it is like predictions. That means it tells the predictions under uncertainty. So we say the probability is nothing but the number of favorable outcomes by the total number of outcomes. So, using the probability calculation, the machine learning models can say whether the given set of data is real or it is a fraud detection. So, especially by using the probability concept, it is applied for the medical diagnosis and similarly fraud detection as well as in credit scoring. So, one can say in this probability, we are having so many applications and we use the algorithms like naive Bayes as well as Bayesian networks. So this approach for probabilistic reasoning as well as the classification. So here using the probability idea, we can have some Bayesian learning and this can be applied in this machine learning. So when we use the machine learning, one can understand the data, it should be some limited data as well as some continuous learning is also required. So the next topic is we come across about the statistics. So, in many of them studied about the statistics. The statistics it generally can calculate the mean, median, mode, and those things. And in higher studies, we can have some one-dimensional way, two-dimensional way of classification, and Latin square of classification, and those things. But all these statistical data are used for data understanding as well as in validation. So, the machine learning uses the statistics especially for data understanding as well as the model validation. So, one can say these models it can be biased or it become biased, overfit or it makes some incorrect predictions. So, without proper statistical analysis, we cannot predict whether the data is correct or not. Similarly, without the statistical analysis, we cannot predict whether the model is actually good or not. So, this data, what it does means, the machine learning understand how all these data are spread across the futures. And similarly, the machine learning identify the asymmetry in data distribution. And similarly, it divides the data to assess the model performance on unseen data. So repeatedly, it will clearly verify all the data and it will takes away for giving the outputs. And the last topic is we can see how the calculus are applied in machine learning. So normally the students study about the calculus and everything in from the school life itself. So normally all the peoples will say how the calculus are applied in machine learning. Say here every model or machine model will be having some loss function. All these loss functions can be minimized by the basic of this calculus. For example, it will calculate mean squared error, cross entropy and so on. So every machine learning model has a loss function and it measures how wrong predictions are done. So using this calculus concepts, the machine learning will overcome the errors that it finds in that model. So one can say the calculus is nothing but model learning mechanism. And similarly, we can say the gradient descent also. So in gradient descent, it uses the derivatives to move the weights towards the minimum loss. So it controls the learning speed also. And errors flow backward in neural networks and similarly partial derivatives updates in each layer. So one can say one of the heart of the machine learning training is nothing but the calculus. So using the calculus, one can calculate the error function and it will predict the errors and it will control the errors so that it will give the clear output. So millions of machine learning models uses the calculus as and it behaves as the backbone of the machine learning. So in this way, we are having so many mathematical concepts so under this machine learning. So one can say without calculus, we cannot that is we cannot study about the machine learning. Not only it is used in machine learning, it is used in the deep learning concepts also. So one can say in the recent AI revolution, the mathematics behaves as a backbone for all these futures. So in this way, we can see the four main topics. One is the linear algebra, another one is the probability, the statistics and the calculus and how they are used by this machine learning. So now we can see what are the final things that we have seen in this video. The first thing is the linear algebra. It shows the representation and computation of the data. Next one is the probability. So it is mainly helps for the decision making. The next one is the statistics, which gives the correctness, and similarly it fixes the errors. And the final one is the calculus, which gives the exact models. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you.